All right, guys, we are here right outside of Rockford, Illinois with the C8, and we're already off to kind of some dilemmas here and some issues. Is the key is inside the car, right there, so there's no power to the car. The customer just left to go get the other key, see if we can get the doors unlocked that way, because theoretically what is going on right now is not supposed to happen according to GM. And then also I want to introduce Brandon. Hey. So Brandon is officially starting his training today. What better way to start than on the C8? But we got to get into the car so we can get started on this. Gotta wait for the customer to get back.
Well, ready to rock and roll. It's just, yeah, what an unfortunate start though.
So Brandon, what are your thoughts on this job? What are you looking forward to? What are you intimidated by? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm intimidated by the fact, I mean, this is someone's baby. All these vehicles are. If you're investing your time and money into this, you know, this becomes an integral part of your life and culture. And so to be, it's kind of a blessing and a curse to be able to work on these. But I'm really excited to get down to it. I've watched enough videos with Tim. Tim actually, the whole reason I even know Tim was because he worked on my father's car. And seeing his craftsmanship on my father's Jaguar convinced me that if I am going to learn this is the guy to learn from.
It's already trying to get a raise. Like already trying to get raises.
Yeah. Speaking about that.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, you know, I am a little nervous, but I'm also excited. This is a new chapter for me, and so really I just now with the key thing locked in here, I was all gung-ho, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm looking at this, and I just kind of want to jump into this.
Like Maui, breathe it in.
No, this is exciting. I'll be working on Corvettes before I even get to drive one.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like that's the best way to go. Honestly, now I feel like I really want a Corvette. I've been staring at these all day and all night watching videos.
And as many of you know, I've made it very clear when we're looking for people is I don't want anyone with automotive experience whatsoever. Customer just came back. In my years of doing this and training different people and attempting to train different people, I've discovered that those with automotive experience bring a lot of baggage with them, and that baggage generally consists of, I know how to do this, it's easy, I can do this. And 99.9% of them never work out. They can't do this the way that they think they can, and they don't have the experience to do it, and they're unwilling to actually learn the right process and the right way to do it. And it's just too many people kind of fighting about the way it should be done and do it this way. I've done it this way before, and it's like, how many have you done? So don't come in here telling me how to do this because you don't do them enough to know. So finding people that aren't argumentative or competitive in the aspect of automotive knowledge or information, people like Brandon are the best to work with because they have no bad habits. They don't have the mindset of I'm better than you, I'm older or I'm more experienced. So they're easy to train all the good ways, and they have zero bad habits whatsoever. So I have really high hopes for Brandon, coming from no automotive experience for him. That's an excitement for me because I can teach him the right way to do this, the best way to do this, and I think you guys are gonna be happy with what he transforms into. So Brandon is in there finishing and buttoning up the last door for all the wiring and stuff. And I have to say, I'm massively impressed so far with his attention to detail, his focus, his ability to slow down and look at what he's doing, and those are great qualities, obviously, that Eikon demands of anyone that does the installations. Because, you know, the previous issues with some of the people that we've brought in and trained and attempted to train to do this is that they have in their mind that they can do this is easy, I've done something similar to this before, or there's only one right way to do this. There are hundreds of wrong ways. So you thinking that you know, that's great, but when we discover that what you know is the wrong way, and then there's that competition note in a sense, and it's useless. I don't care about my ego, your ego, or anyone's ego. At the end of the day, we care about perfection, we care about quality, we care about customer satisfaction. So far I'm blown away. So he's finishing up right now. We'll ask him how what he thought of his very first official training day on the C8, or on any car for that matter. All right, Brandon just finished with the doors, first wires, first everything. What'd you think?
Yeah, you know, it honestly wasn't as complicated as I thought, but there's a lot of steps to remember and a lot of pieces that to put them back together, because we're trying to make sure that this looks like the factory did it. There's just a lot of things, a lot of finessing I guess. And yeah, no, I was really impressed. And Tim's tips and tricks there to kind of get around a lot of the complicated inner parts of the door. Because like Tim's told me, a lot of guys skip over that entire part, and it's completely necessary. Absolutely.
So Tim knows what he's talking about sometimes. No, like I said, he's doing great. So now I'm gonna get him set on removal of the bumper and the fenders. As you can see, we're still, you know, kind of stock parts are still on. So gonna get him set up, kind of point him in the right direction on to removing the things that need to be removed for the bumper and the fender, and we'll go from there. Kind of get behind the door.
Get behind this
Yep. Lift up. Keep going. And you're gonna kind of walk underneath it while you're holding it to get to the bottom there. Keep going up. There you go. And then you're gonna keep going until that clears above it. There you go. Beautiful.
All right.
High five.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, and then go ahead and lower it.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it down. Make sure you don't slam it. So, Mr. Henry, how do you think he's been doing?
Sorry?
How's he been doing? For the first car, you're the unwillingly or unknowingly test subject. Good? Good. Passes the Henry
Still
test.
honeymoon, right?
Yeah, still the honeymoon, right? He's trying to fit in man-hand gloves. It's not working out.
I need the junior gloves. I'm not a big kid yet.
We are done. So, Mr. Fortney, now that you see it done, what do you think? That sounds like a question.
I bet, you know.
Yeah. Are you happy? Was it what you expected? Was it what you're hoping for? Have you tried getting in it yet? The doors up? You want to or not? No? He just wants to slam the doors to never use them.
I'm gonna bring my my grandson down Saturday. I mean, I didn't know you were coming then, but I told him he's 17.
Oh.
You guys have a little Jeep?
Yeah.
I told him he and I will go spin it. His dad won't let him, but I'm saying screw your dad. We're gonna go for a ride in it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to the man who actually did this. How was it? What do you think? First install.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I love this. This is awesome. I could do this every day.
Every day.
Every day. Ooh. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, no,
Every day.
I'm willing to say that. Yeah.
Every day, all day. Trying to take my job?
You know, I think that's the goal.
That is the.
It's,
You're not wrong.
It's time for higher purposes to be met. Yeah.
It's time for me to retire.
There you go. Yeah.
Passing down the torch, right? But like, what do you think though overall? Did it go as how you thought? Was it as simple as you might have thought?
It went smoother than I thought, but I think a lot of that's because of your instructions though, and your tips and tricks. Because without that, I mean, like if this was just like reading a manual or something, there's no way in hell would I have been able to do this, and not in a day, let alone I mean really, if you cut out the instructions, I mean 7 hours, is what was invested in this today. Something that you usually knock out in, I guess, 4.
Yeah, under some. I've done it under 3, but
it's yeah, I mean just.
I was in bed for the next 3 days after that too.
Yeah, no, I came into this expecting I was going to have to take 10, 11 hours or something, just because I'm someone who has never used tools before. I'm someone who has never, never in a million years would have thought I'd be working on a car, let alone a Corvette, and then let alone doing scissor doors, Lambo doors.
C8.
On a C8.
Of all Corvettes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bleep this out, but mindfuck. Yeah, I mean, I'm completely.
No bleep here.
Yeah.
No bleep.
Nothing like touching and feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's. I guess now that I've taken it apart, now I'm thinking. I'm just.
Take the damn thing.
I'm just thinking of like past things, other vehicles I've had, Jeeps, trucks that I've always wanted to work on, but never did, just because I thought, oh man, that's so complicated. I mean, it's like a labyrinth, and really, it's not. As long as you have the proper instruction and someone who knows how to explain it to you,
Yeah.
and then how to get hands-on with it. So that was a huge help. I mean, without Tim, I would have been lost in the woods. I would have been up the stream without a paddle. That's for sure. Yeah, no.
Well, he's admitted he's made mistakes.
Correct. Yeah, and
So he allows you to make mistakes.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes. Absolutely.
And then there's more touch and feel to it, pressure.
Correct. Absolutely.
That you can't learn unless you got your hands dirty.
Right. I mean, to be able to, it's one thing to describe what it feels like for this certain screw to skip, or for a certain bolt to feel a certain tightness, and you can't explain that until you actually get hands-on with it and actually feel it yourself and know, okay, this is what he means, and this is what I can expect when I'm doing this by myself. What to feel for, and to know when to stop when I put too much on it, and then also just with exercising the doors. I mean, things you don't think about. I mean, I didn't, think about exercising the shock. I just think, oh, the kit, why would I have to do that? And then other things, the way that we, he showed me how to take apart the door, but it's so necessary to get that clean look. Like where, I mean, everyone else has got hanging wires and just crap that beforehand I would have never noticed. But now that I notice it, and I'm looking at pictures on Google, and I'm like, oh my God, that's ugly. This person's got a $70,000 car and they just got wires hanging out, or some $250,000 car and they got wires hanging out. This one, I mean, this is perfect. It's like I came out of a factory. I mean, to replicate the factory on the road, different city every day, that's mad skills. That is mad skills. And I can't wait to be a part of that, yeah. Today was a day of so many firsts for me that I think that's, my mind's still kind of wrapping itself around that. Yeah. Like, okay, you handled more tools today than you have in the past 27 years of your entire life. And then on top of that, it was on a vehicle that costs more money than you've made in your entire life. And then to finish it and be looking back at it and being like, you did it better than the factory. I mean, that's...
Yeah, fixing factory flaws.
Yeah, and fixing factory flaws along the way, just to help finesse. I mean, make this look like, this should be driven by a king kind of thing. Which ignore me for the next few days until I get some of this down. But yeah, this has been an eye-opening experience. It's all thanks to this guy. The opportunity that he's provided me.
No, it's him. If it wasn't for him,
that's true.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate you letting me work on your Corvette, knowing that I am a novice.
You're lucky he's still alive.
Well,
but yeah, this is just something that you can't learn without doing, So, and that's always been, as I've said in other videos, is training people is the most anxious, anxiety crazed, part of my life and my doing this is I can walk up to a $300,000 Huracan with a saw and have no qualms about cutting shit, and it's I'm not nervous at that, but it's like watching someone do something on any car, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because it's like knowing that one small move, one small slip in certain parts, if you don't have, like when I told you to move your hand back a little bit on that on the saw or the multi-tool, and you notice the right away difference.
Right away, absolutely.
On your controllability of it. So it's just, and again, with the inexperienced with tools and stuff like that, those are things that you...
Plus I'm left-handed.
Yeah, left-handed too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fortunate part.
So it's just the learning curve of obviously all the different multitudes of tools that you use, having never done them, and then
Absolutely.
I know that you're nervous. You would be crazy if you weren't nervous. Obviously, I'm not nervous, but that's just because I've done so many of these things, and with the seat specifically too.
And honestly, let's just say I was working with one of your other technicians, not you. I think my nervous level would have been a lot higher because the amount of knowledge you have and just your calmness about it kept me at a better level. Because I mean, if you were no, or then I would have been like, okay, you know what? No, I'm stepping back from this. I'm gonna watch you the whole.
That's the thing is you can't. As I told you before, before you started this, is you can't set a hostile environment, with someone that you're trying to teach something to.
Yeah,
you set
absolutely.
a hostile environment, if you make the person uncomfortable and too scared to make mistakes in front of me, then it's just, I'm setting you up for failure. I mean, honestly, because you're too scared to make mistakes, and that rigidity, or not the rigidity, but the nervousness of not wanting to make a mistake in front of me is gonna make you make worse, unforgivable mistakes to the actual car.
Correct.
One slip of a saw right through this door, that's unforgivable. That's a huge mistake that now is gonna cost the company a lot of money to fix, obviously, but.
See, if that would have happened, we'd both be fertilizer behind the garage here.
We wouldn't be making this video right now if those kind of mistakes were made, but that's the reality of this. You have to set the person free to learn certain mistakes. That's why when we did the little wire thing over here, I knew the struggle that you were gonna have with it because it was your first one.
Okay, just so you folks know, it's this wire back here. Me and him are not friends.
So there we go. We're good to go. Beautiful car. And again, it was an honor meeting you. And we'll look forward to the next one.